Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned. Hello guys, welcome to Global Happenings today. We have a trending news here for you, and the headline of the news reads, finally Yoruba is ready to leave Nigeria, see their reasons. But before we continue with details of the news and further analysis, we'd like to encourage you to please subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and also on the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish our videos on YouTube. Alright, let's look at the news in detail. Predictions about the breakup of Nigeria have reached its highest height. The Fulani-controlled federal government led by General Buhari continues to thumb its nose at Yorubas. With the formation of Amotekun, the Western Nigerian security network, Yorubas have obviously stated their declaration of course why they will leave Nigeria. This is end time for Nigeria. The tyrannical regime of General Muhammadu Buhari will give way to secession. In the absence of a unifying national interest, Nigeria has become disorderly, lawless, dangerous, fragmented, and seemingly unlivable. In the declaration of causes, two major theme emerges and its domination and internal colonization. Other grievances include economic exploitation and blatant display of injustice. The Fulanis have never hidden their agenda to dominate the rest of the country. By October 1st, it would be 60 years of independence of Nigeria from the Britain. Out of that 60 years, the Fulani have been in charge of the federal government for more than 40 years. It means the control, misuse, and misappropriation of our collective God-given talent. It also means the monopoly of federal government, political appointment, and federal agencies like immigration, prison, custom, railway, FCCC, CT, ICPC, FIRS, NTA, FRCN, Federal Civil Service, and the likes. All of these are being headed by the Fulanis. 99% of also the federal judges are all Fulanis. All the security agencies in Nigeria, and that's the likes of the military, navy, SSS, police, all are controlled by the Fulanis. Above all, the Fulani control of federal bureaucracy, agencies, and corporation mean utter waste of generations unborn and truncation of destiny. Internally, the domination of Fulani is on full speed with the moral, spiritual, financial support, power, and influence of the presidency. The Fulani headsmen, terrorists kill, maim, and rape our people. Appeasing the terrorist, General Buhari urges victims of Fulani carnage to learn to live in peace with their Fulani neighbors. The Northerners, acting like custodians and honor of presidency, gleefully thundered that with Amotekun, Yorubas should forget about presidency come 2023. They even went further to demand that General Buhari, the commander-in-chief of Fulani terrorists, should arrest Yoruba leaders because of Amotekun.
Alright. Yoruba declaration of causes include but not limited to the following. Why Yoruba is ready to leave Nigeria. 1. Nigeria is convulsed by internal violence. Yorubas are no longer safe. Nigeria can no longer deliver positive political goods to our people. 2. President Buhari's tyrannical regime has lost its legitimacy, and by extension, Nigeria has become illegitimate, they said. 3. Nigeria enjoys no stability and predictability. No one is in charge. Our democracy has turned dictatorship. Nothing works in Nigeria. Everything is in disarray. 4. All ethnic groups are tense. deeply conflicted, dangerous, and contested bitterly by warring factions. There's unprecedented disharmonies between communities and among states. 5. Nigeria is no longer unwilling to perform its fundamental jobs of nation state. Nigeria exhibits flawed and failed institutions. Only the institution of the executive functions. If legislatures exist at all, they are rubber stamp machines. The judiciary is an annex of Aso Rock. We can no longer rely on the court system for redress or remedy. 6. Corruption flourishes on an unusual destructive scale. There's a vacuum of authority. Nigeria is a mere geographical expression. 7. Nigeria is caused by discovery of oil. Failure and collapse of Nigeria is man-made. Ethnicity, economics, and ideology all fueled our decision to leave Nigeria. There is no shortage of groups that want Nigeria to split up. Far from the contrary opinion of the Fulanese, secession is a populist option. It's not a collection of cranky, lonesome idealists. Nigeria is a funny country built on borrowed convenience. The looming secession will tear Nigeria to pieces. The pandemic or an economic collapse is driving the country to swift, quit, poet, secession. That means let him save himself who can. Yorubas have no trust in General Buhari's Nigeria. We don't feel represented or belong in the Nigerian experiment. The only way to regain our socio-economic and political destiny is to leave Nigeria and chart a brand new country that will guarantee our pursuit of happiness, liberty, peace, progress, and prosperity. Under international law, Yorubas are qualified as a people who have the right to self-determination, the ability to freely determine our political fate, and form a representative government. Yoruba en masse really and truly want to secede. So legal arguments will be irrelevant. The present arrangement that the President General Buhari's regime are not conducive to our freedom and democracy. We must leave the jungle, they say. If other nations broke up successfully, why would the Fulani think Nigeria's case is inched in stone? Here are some successful secessions. Algeria broke away from France. East Timor seceded from Indonesia. Eritrea left Ethiopia. Bangladesh broke away from Pakistan. Uruguay left Brazil. Greece and Serbia left Ottoman Empire. South Sudan left Sudan. And Panama left Colombia. Let's go there, they say.
All right, thank you very much. We're going to consider some reactions from Nigerians before we go into further discussion of this particular theme. It's really interesting. One person said here, what Ojukwu sat down and saw in 1966 is what some people are still climbing the skyscrapers at Broad Street to look for. The one that pained me past, we seeing an erudite professor of law, a senior advocate of Nigeria, and a respected pastor standing behind a person with zero educational value in a national election. It broke a lot of people's heart. I started doubting the smartness and the attributes of Southwest. Even small Nnamdi Kanu, he's not small though, he's big. Even small Nnamdi Kanu saw these since 2013 and started screaming it. When we are sure you guys are serious and not a threat to get appeased with 2023 presidency, we will come out and support you. You've heard the word there. He said, if they are serious and not a threat to get appeased with 2023 presidency, because that's just one of the things we are going to be looking at. And then I'm going to read another one so that we go straight into discussion. This one said here, it looks like the Yoruba are tired of shouting one Nigeria and they are planning on bailing out at any slight opportunity. The formation of Amotekun and the opposition it has gotten from the north should tell the Yorubas who their enemy is. All right, let's look at this issue critically and then do justice to it. First of all, I want to say that their eyes are opening. I'm talking about the Yorubas. This has been something that has been repeatedly said, and I think their eye-opener is actually refusal for Amotekun to strive. It was amazing when I saw on papers that Akere Dulu came out and said that if it means for him to let go of his second term, he won't mind. All what he's striving to see is the success of Amotekun. That was an indication that they are willing. And fairly recently, we've heard the way, the Fulanis, especially Mietiala leader, the way he has been talking these few days, it clearly shows that he has no respect for his countrymen. For you to open your mouth and call the Yorubas primitive, they have developed primitive, I think, primitive political culture. It's an insult to the point that the channel interviewer had to halt him, that you don't talk like this, please. That's an indication to show you they have no respect for anyone. Because if you have respect for your fellow countryman, you can't open your mouth and be talking the way he was talking. But one of the issues which I feel we must look into right now is the case of our lack of acceptability of other people's view. We've talked about internal domination by the Fulanis, that internal, colonization by the Fulanis. The question that I want everyone to talk about right now is, do they do this by force? Of course, they don't do it by force. They don't forcefully do this thing. They look at some of the loopholes that are in our culture, that are in the life of some of our politicians, and they take advantage of it. One of the things that Nigerians cannot stay away from is corruption. It has eaten deep into the fiber of our skin, such that if a Nigerian comes up with an issue and begin to rant about it, and you just throw some few monies at them, you see they will crumble and fall. They will forget about the fact that whatever issue they were fronting was not representing themselves alone. They were representing myriads of people out there. And that's the problem we are having. And I love what the first responder said. He said, if they would not use 2023 to appease them, because it's very simple. By the time they begin to make money and begin to say, okay, come and be our assistant, come and be, we'll give you just one thing. And before you know, they'll be so foolish and they'll forget about the dream that they had. That's the problem we have. Just fairly recently, we have seen the level of betrayal that is in Nigerian politics, especially within the South and the Southeast. Uzodinma just came on board as Imo State governor, and there were a lot of people ranting that they have so many unanswered questions and all of that. Then how can Uzodinma, and we even went further to analyze that his stay in office may be overly threatened in the fact that not even one party member of his is part of the lawmakers. Only for him to start up, it's not even up to 1 week. It's not even up to 1 week. Look at the queue of PDP members who have decided to dump their own party. Why? Maybe, I'm so sure they've thrown some monies before them. If you move to APC, this is what will happen. And the next thing, they'll begin to define politics for you, that it's all about permanent interest, no permanent friend, no permanent this. And before you know, all of them are going to APC. Can you see it? That is how also the Fulanis will bring lofty appointment and give to our people, and they'll use their mouth to talk down on the plan of their own people. They will do everything within their power to frustrate it. That is the challenge we are having. It's not about Fulani. It's not that they are too powerful. All what they do is oneness of purpose. That's what we are lacking, both in the South, Southeast, Southwest. We lack oneness of purpose. I can assure you that by the time they realize that you're not ready to give in to all their antics and all of that, we'll be able to curb them to some extent. But by the time they just show up and begin, imagine the issue of Amotekun. There are still some insiders, these Amotekun insiders, who are saying, please, they should forget about this Amotekun a bit. Why? Because they're queuing up behind some certain person and they want to get political appointment, or some of them want to be elected into offices. So they don't mind even destroying any structure that they have. That's the challenge we have. The domination of the Fulani is being fast-tracked, or is being strengthened by our refusal to be one in purpose. That's the challenge.
Well, for me, it's no longer news that there have been protests around the southwestern states. A lot of persons have been during, I think that's sometime yesterday, for 24 hours now, Amotekun have been, supporters of Amotekun have been all on the streets, saying that Amotekun has come to stay. But the amazing part is the fact that police were all around their protest. All those, Lagos or Jota was already flooded. Police were on guard, on standby. Ekiti, Ondo, Ibadan. That's about it. That's the ones I know about. They came out in their numbers, and police were all on standby. I see there was going to be some sort of riot, and everybody the guys are saying, look, Amotekun have come to stay, but the police are already, they started terming Amotekun illegal. Now, the question is, there have been other security outfits in the north that have not been termed illegal, and when we did our findings, they said the reason why they termed Amotekun illegal is because it is regional, it is not state police, and because it has not been passed by assembly, House of Assembly, and so therefore to them it's another form of restructuring, another form of secession, and for that reason they are seen as a militia group. Hence, it's now termed illegal. And just because Malami has said that, AGF has said that already, they're already seen Amotekun as illegal. Now, one of the ways you can make it legal, like one or two persons have already, when we were discussing, said something. So why don't we, bring this whole idea into as national, their state assembly, give reasons why it should pass it into law in their various states, and the whole state is no longer based on politics now or politician. The state, they should check out how much every state is worth, and by so doing, check out the amount of persons you can, conveniently pay as salaries, pay them well, because they're going to use their, minds to protect them. Just like police, just like every other security outfit, feed them well, so that Amotekun is not really looking out for, or is not actually looking out to strike Fulanis. No. I think they're actually looking out to protect anyone living in the West, and it's not a bad idea. Now, with them, automatically making Amotekun illegal, there have been other security outfits that have been in existence in the north. No one has called it illegal. It has been operational even till date, and they have found a name to give Amotekun to make it illegal by saying it's a regional thing. And this is the first time, the Southwesterners will come together and produce something like Amotekun, and they are rejecting it. It's a clear-cut signal that maybe this whole one Nigeria thing may not be one Nigeria after all. And don't forget that when you begin to talk about the north, we are looking at probably Hausa Fulani here. Even in the north, they have the elite in the north. It's not all of them that are actually, but then we have the elite. But then, all in all, it's obvious that it's like the north have greater say in politics, in leadership in Nigeria. Hence, it's almost like a right for them. And if they have ruled for over 40 years and this is the best they can get, can take Nigeria to, then their best is not good enough for Nigeria. Security issues. There's even a new terrorist group that have emerged again from the north. That one is terrorist Abdullah John or something, one of these that house Muslim names. Very terrible. They are coming. They've been existent before, but the pipeline now, there's another one. It's like they have monopoly of terrorism coming in. Now, if people are not saying, look, we don't have, let's see how we can protect, you're saying, then it clearly shows that the Yorubas have started seeing the things that the likes of Mazen Kanu have seen a long time ago. And if, like my colleague rightly said, everyone with one voice, and say, look, we want out. Okay, if you can't protect us and you have kept our borders open, all manner of things are entering, and we have a little security wall to open. You said it's now illegal, but every other thing, terrorism, people coming in without visa is very legal. Then there must be some sort of ulterior motive we don't know about. Then let's all just find our separate ways quietly and let everyone govern themselves, so that if eventually they enter your country, my security network will protect us from. But then the question is, like my colleague rightly says, do we have oneness of heart? All it needs is greed here. They follow your greed, give you some monies. You yourself will be the one to disband the whole idea.
All right, thank you very much. Go to our comment section, let us interact. What's your position on this issue? Do you think that the Yorubas are really serious about this, or maybe they need an appeasement, maybe like 2023 presidencies?